need spaces. We need communities and relationships and places where we can let down, belong, be ourselves, and know that we are amongst friends and family. And so we're hoping that that is this space for you tonight. We're going to go to Luke chapter 15. Luke chapter 15. I'm going to grab this table right over here. Yeah, William, come on out here so everybody can see you. This is a great man right out here. This is William. First of all, I've been working out. William is one of the happiest men on the face of the planet. Can I say that? And happily married.
Very happy.
And that's good. Well played. Oh, William, where are you going? How many years have you been married?
1 year.
Whoa! Did you just have your 1 year anniversary?
In July.
Okay, so yeah, it's been like one in a few. Number one highlight so far of marriage that's appropriate for large groups.
That's appropriate. That's a little tough.
Okay, well I think we know what your highlight is. Men, right? Men. We love you. You're going to UCLA right now.
That's right, yeah.
You get your Bruins for life. What are you getting your degree in?
It's sociology and a minor in Portuguese.
This is a brilliant man. Is your wife here tonight?
Serving at City Kids.
She's right now serving the kids. This couple is so amazing. Oh, would you give it up for William? He's a good man. Oh, sure, yeah. How about generosity water? Thank you. Alkaline, 10 pH. Kidding. Is there a video or something that I don't know about? You know, like the lights drop. Okay. Theatrical production begins. Hey, so tonight is what we call Vision Day, or more appropriately, we could call this Vision Night. So, tough crowd in the Saban or the Saban. The whole idea tonight is not unlike other nights that we gather, but I'd like to paint a picture and a portrait not only of who we are as a community, but I believe who we are becoming and who we can be. I want you to keep in mind that this room is not a stationary idea. We're not here to merely share concepts and principles and exchange customs. We're here understanding that life is a journey and there is a progression. Life is to be lived, and the goal of life is to live it to the fullest, to learn and to change and to evolve, if I could say. And so when it comes to our faith and when it comes into following Jesus or believing in God, we believe that this is a journey and it's a progression. It's something that is growing and moving and going. And so this space is not dedicated simply to tickle your fancy or to improve your mental capacity or your knowledge or your wisdom, but it's actually that we would live well. And to live well is to love well. And so one of the big ideas behind this room is that we would love better, and we would live better, that we would live, love, and look like Jesus. Now, you don't even have to be a Jesus follower or a Jesus worshiper to agree that our country has never needed people who live, love, and look like Jesus. People with mercy and compassion and empathy and understanding and love and consideration and kindness and care. We have never needed that more. So we are in this room tonight not just to improve our portfolios or to learn something that can give us a corner on our new career or to get us a gig or a boyfriend or a girlfriend. All of those things are not inherently bad at all, but we're actually here for a far more important reason than just your personal improvement. We are here so that we can be a part of the solution in the world and not a part of the problem. We're here to make progress. We're here to make a difference. We're here to love people in this city where we currently are. And I actually don't think it's an accident. I don't think it's a coincidence that we are all here living in this city at the same time, in the same generation, at the same place. I think God has brought us together relationally for a purpose that is bigger than ourselves. And maybe, just maybe, we are doing something now culturally in our workplaces and in our hobby places and in our recreation places and relaxation places. We are demonstrating love that can actually change the course of our country and the course of history. That's what I believe about a community. So this isn't a gig, it's not an event, this is not a talk, this is not an organization. This is a conglomeration of authentic, genuine, ordinary, average, real people who actually love each other and are committed to say, hey, we're not going to do life alone in this crazy, wild city. We're going to do it together, and we're going to love each other, and we're going to serve each other, and just maybe we'll approach each other differently than maybe others have in times past, because we worship and admire and serve a God who has demonstrated such a lifestyle. So we're here tonight talking about vision, what it looks like to be a community. And I'm so excited. I'd like to speak to you tonight from Luke chapter 15. And if you're familiar at all with the Bible narrative, you know that this is a favorite passage of communicators and preachers and teachers of the Bible. And I want us to go there, and I'd like to begin a series of talks that we'll do together here on Wednesday nights. We do have a Thursday night, believe it or not, coming up. We have a Thursday night. I don't know when it is, but it's a Thursday night in October. October 13th, we're going to do a Thursday night, so you can mark that on your calendars or not. It's a free country, you don't have to. Slip it in your Palm Pilot. But Luke 14, October 14th, we'll be here. October 13th. I don't even know why I do announcements. It's so like I just pretend like I'm good at them, and I'm not. Details are just not the thing. So, we're going to do a series of talks entitled Church Like a Home. Church Like a Home. And tonight, if wherever you are, I don't know what you face today or what you're going through or what your checking account looks like or your savings account or what your relational status looks like or the drama you're experiencing with your aunt or your uncle or your mom or your dad or your stepdad or what happened at work with your coworkers or your boss and the drama and the tension and the difficulty and the passion, or you just got dropped or you just got hired or you just got, there is a range of emotions and experiences that people are feeling tonight. There's also a range of belief systems and worldviews and perspectives. And if you've never believed that, just go on social media. It is amazing how many people have something to say about something they've never been a part of. But that is not the point. The point is that wherever you're coming from tonight, even if possibly perchance you're not a faith person, not a God person, not a church person, tonight will afford you an opportunity. Okay? If a community is like a bus, tonight you get to peer at this bus, to look at this bus, particularly at the front of the bus. You know where they put the destination on the front of the bus? Right, destination, Pasadena. I don't know why I chose Pasadena. Calabasas, okay? Malibu. So, I'm hoping that people cheer for their city, but all of you are like, I can't afford to live in Malibu. So, Studio City. Okay, so, we get it. So, we know where the economic status is in our community. So, you drive to Malibu and go to that one restaurant and act like that's where you're from. But, wherever you're coming from, tonight is an opportunity for you to go, okay, if I was a part of this community, for instance, this is where this community is headed. Tonight we're going to touch on that, kind of who we are and where we're headed and what in the world we're doing in this town. It's as if you can kind of look at our community. It's not a bus, but if it was a bus, tonight is the night where I'm going to tell you, in essence, where we are headed, who we are, and what we're about. It's also a great night if you're here and you're like, man, I just started coming to this thing. It's kind of cool, great gig, it's awesome. The guy that speaks is a great dresser. I'm self-compliments. And, whatever. But I kind of wonder, what is this about? Tonight's a great opportunity on Vision Night for you to know who we are, what we're about, and where we're going. So it's kind of a night where it's like you can get on board. Furthermore, if you're on board, it's like, man, this is my community. And then I start saying stuff that you're like, that's not where I'm headed at all. What? Have you ever got on a bus? You ever got on mass transit? And you're just like happy-go-lucky. You got the earbuds and you're like, this is great. And then you go right past where you're trying to go and you're like, what have I done? You know? None of you travel mass transit? Okay, so good talk. Chase, come on up. So tonight is one of those nights, and I hope that it's a night where we get closer together as a community. Church like a home. Church like a home. I'd like to read to you from the book of Luke. Luke and chapter 15. It says this about Jesus. It says, now the tax collectors and sinners were all drawing near to hear him. All drawing near to just listen to Jesus. And the religious pastors and leaders and priests, known as the Pharisees and scribes, they grumbled. They complained. You may not know this, but Jesus was actually not popular with the local pastors in the cities where he walked the streets. The local institutions and religious organizations were not actually wild about Jesus, contrary to popular opinion. Jesus was the guy who wasn't always attending like the religious services and functions, and it became a thing. It became a problem. In fact, the pastors and the spiritual leaders of the day, they grumbled, and this was their complaint. This man, Jesus, receives, which means he welcomes, he invites, he's intentionally engaging bad people. Now don't get caught up with the word sinner there. The word sinner, which everyone's afraid of the word sin. The word sinner there just means people that otherwise, how should I say, were not church attenders. They didn't act, talk, look, or walk like a church person, whatever that means to you. They were coined by the pastors and the priests and the religious leaders. They said, those are outsiders. Those are sinners. Look at how they act. Look at how they talk. Look at how they walk. So it was evident by their lifestyle that they were not following the Torah. They were not following the first 5 books of the Bible. And they said, this man, Jesus, he invites these bad people in his life and he eats with them. Now, culturally understand something that in Jesus' day, to eat with someone would be like going, how should I say, it'd be like going to the Bahamas with someone. Okay? It's like going on a weekend getaway with someone. It was like a real gesture of friendship, connection. Let's get to know each other. It's like, let's have a guy's trip, or let's have a girl's trip to Vegas. You don't just do that with perfect strangers. You do that with people you want to get to know and you want to befriend. So Jesus is now not just connecting, relating, introducing himself to bad people, outsiders, disreputable people, but he is spending extraordinary time so that he can develop actual, real, genuine friendship with them. And the pastors and the priests and the religious leaders do not like this. That's our context for tonight's talk. And we're going to use these few verses tonight as a portrait or as a framework to paint. I'm going to do my best to paint for you what I believe a picture of the kind of community we are and are becoming, and the kind of people group we are supposed to be in this city. Again, our backdrop tonight is that Jesus officially has frustrated the local pastors, priests, and religious leaders in his local town. They don't like his approach. He is befriending people that don't attend their churches. He's befriending people that don't go to that local church or that local church. And it's more than befriend. He's literally, they're exchanging numbers. He's texting them. He's emailing them. Like they're literally becoming friends. They're like snapping with each other. Like it's just become a thing. And the pastors are going, this is not okay. It's in that setting that Jesus gives us quite possibly the most famous parable ever told by Jesus. He gives us a parable, many of you have heard, the prodigal son. But the prodigal son is actually one part of a 3-part parable. Jesus will now explain, ironically, Jesus has so much patience, he basically sits these pastors, religious leaders, priests down, and he says, I'm going to tell you why I am formulating a community that does not attend your church. I'm going to tell you why I do that. He tells us about a man with 100 sheep, a woman with a 10-coin collection, and a father with 2 sons. And through these parables, we begin to peer into who our God is and why he had formed the kind of community he had formed. And I believe it's the kind of community that you and I are and are becoming. Would you pray with me? Jesus, thank you for the moments we shared. Help us to hear, Lord, and understand. Help us to see you and encounter you in a real, genuine, and authentic way. Thank you, Lord, for the absolute destruction of the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday. It was a thrill to do that, and we thank you for that in Jesus' name. And everyone said, Amen. Rams are in first place. In case you're keeping track, exactly my point. No one cares. Welcome to LA. Last night was our last night in a home in Seattle that we had lived in for about 4 years. It was our last night in this home, and to Chelsea's credit, Chelsea said it was her favorite home she has lived in to date. Didn't want to move, but it was important for us to move. We moved to a neighborhood where our kids have a lot of friends, and kind of flying back and forth between 2 cities. We wanted them to have a neighborhood where they can run around and kind of have their friends to play with and that sort of thing. So I don't want technology to raise my children, so I'm going to get them out on trampolines, running, and I was going to say playing army and shooting guns, but I'm like, I don't even know if we can say that anymore. So sewing and herding cats. So last night, Chelsea gets a bottle of Martinelli's, non-alcoholic, and, is there Martinelli's that's alcoholic? And she said, okay, everybody get ready for bed. And so we have a 12-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 7-year-old, 2 boys and a little girl. And Zion, Elliot, and Grace, they all get ready for bed. They brush their teeth, they get their jams on. Elliot always goes shirtless, his skin is so soft. And they come out, and Chelsea's like, okay, we have Martinelli's, and they go bananas, okay? It's a big deal. We're not doing sugar, no sugar September for us, and so it's like a big deal that we get to have but it's natural sugars, but it's still sugar, and they are just pumped, okay? So then they move in like the savages they are, and now we are ratioing exactly, because there must be justice, okay? And everyone has to have the exact amount. What they don't realize is different size glasses, but it has to be like the same level, and they're fighting over it. And I'm like, Chelsea, just give me a little bit. I don't want that much sugar. And so we pour the Martinelli's, and we go around the table. It's our last night in this home, and we've lived in for 4 years. We go around the table, and we tell our favorite memory. Chelsea tells some memory of, I don't know, like hugging and talking, and I share a memory of when the Vikings missed the field goal in that house. We cried, my son and I, my 12-year-old. It was a beautiful moment. So I shared that. Zion also shared a Seahawk moment. The Seahawks won the Super Bowl. I wasn't there when at the home, but Zion was, and he shared that memory. That was our favorite memories in 4 years. Oh my gosh. It's just coming to me right now. That's the one memory we shared. That's how I'm raising my son. But L-Dog shared like a really sentimental, he's all heart. And then Gracie, my 7-year-old, just to be honest, likes a captive audience, and so she talked for about 20 minutes. But wonder where she gets it. Okay, calm down. When there was so much, these are details you don't want to know, but it was so much more difficult than what I'm telling you, because as soon as they sipped the Martinelli's, they were like, oh, it tastes like toothpaste, we brush our teeth, oh, we hate it. And I'm like, be grateful, like, we hate it. I'm like, fine, everyone gets 1 chip. And they're like, ah, and they're about to have the chips, and they're like, but if we have the chips, we have to brush our teeth again. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is everything a negotiation? So I'm like, no, you don't have to, okay? Then they're slipping extra chips, and I'm like, I saw that, you're going to hell. And come on, you gotta have a sense of humor. So then we go in for the last, and here's a picture. This is in our back, and we go in for the last measure on the height. Well, that's incredibly blurry. Come on, it's 2016. But evidently this was taken on my phone. So that's our bath. That's the shower. That's Chelsea's loofah. Is that what it's called? Can you see the loofah? Is that seriously what it's called, right? Loofah. So, have you ever used one of those things? Dear God, if you have hair on your body and you use loofah, I swear it produces ingrown hairs. Things they don't tell you in the infomercial. So, here is, come on, it's Vision Day. Here is the wall. All the way at the bottom, that's about the day we moved in. That's little Gray Ray. I call her Gray Reezy Lemon Squeezy right now. That's her nickname. And we hug each other as tight as we can, and we go, you just got lemon squeeze. Okay? So, and as I've said, she's my favorite of the three. But come on, everyone calm down. And that's how she started 4 years ago in this home. And this, about now, you can insert tears here, okay? Because I'm like, oh, all right, everybody get to bed, you know. Mom and I had plans for the last night. And, but I'm marking these off, and, you know, they stand up and they like try to like lead up as high as they can, take the pencil. I mean, this is life, this is home, this is a home. And I'm measuring these, and I'm like, oh my word. And I know it sounds weird, and I know I shouldn't be this sentimental, but I'm like, that's it. Like, they'll never be that little again. My little girl is like, she's way up the wall now, and she's so much taller, and I'm like, stop, you know, like, the boys can grow up, but not you. And you know what, to be honest, it's a fine tub. That's great travertine, whatever. But that's not really why I was emotional last night. It's because those walls became a space where Chelsea, my beautiful wife of 16 years, Zion, Elliot, and Grace, and myself, that became a home for us. That became a haven. It became a safe place. It became a place to exhale. It was a place where we could be ourselves. It was a place where we made memories. It was a place we got a little probably too heated, too honest, too loud. It's always loud. But that was a home. And I don't know, I might miss a couple of things about it, but as long as I got Chelsea, and I got Zion, and I got Elliot, and I got Grace, the next home that we're moving to, you could argue, is not nearly as fun, as exciting, and nice, maybe. It's certainly not as close as to Grammy. Moving away from Grammy, it was a condo, we shared a wall with Grammy. But you know what, it's home. You know what makes it home? Those incredible, intimate, important, all-important relationships that I share. I don't know what I'd do without those four people. That's my family. That's home to me. Inherent in the human condition is a need for home. It's a need for home. You need home. You need a place where you mark up the walls in the growth charts of your kids. You need a place where you argue over the levels of Martinelli's and who gets more. You need a place where you complain that the Martinelli's doesn't taste good because you just brush your teeth. And then you negotiate to eat a chip, so then the palate experience will be different. You need a place called home. And I actually believe that community, I'm not sure what you know about church or what you think about church or your experience with church, but what we are endeavoring to build together in relationship is not an event, not a program, not an organization, not a business, not a country club, not an institution. What we are building together is not actually a building, but it is relationships where we love and serve one another, and it looks most like a home. And I can actually prove to you in Scripture that Jesus intends. He said, I will build a church. I will build a church, and it will not be defeated. The word church has become so overused, and actually has been, there has been spaces called churches that have been used to spread division and bigotry and hatred and pain and control. And so sometimes the word church comes with enormous baggage. But the truth is, church is a word that simply means community. It doesn't actually mean logos, and it doesn't actually mean websites and podcasts. And it doesn't mean any of that. It just means people who have committed to love each other and serve each other. Church is supposed to feel and look and act most like a home. I've been pastoring this community now for 7 years, and if I had $1 for how many times someone asked what my vision is, but I wouldn't have that much money. But if I had $100 for how many times someone asked me what our vision is, I'd probably have a good chunk of change on my hand. What's the vision? What's the vision? And I've said it before and I'll say it again, that I actually believe that I'm not so sure the church has a vision, but I think God's vision has a church. And I think vision has always been what the vision is, and tonight I'd like to share that with you through the lens of our Savior and our King, Jesus. I'd like to look at his social experience. I'd like to look at his actions relationally and socially, who he befriended, who he went after, who he reclined with, who he ate with, so that we can gain a further understanding of who we are to be and how we are to conduct ourselves. I want to be abundantly clear, and I hope this isn't too direct, and I hope this isn't too difficult, but I want to be clear that I believe in a God who sent his son Jesus, and Jesus is the fullness of the Godhead in bodily form. And I believe that Jesus lived a sinless and perfect life. And for about 3.5 years, he revealed his glory in his public ministry, and he healed countless, and he restored countless lives, and he demonstrated the majesty and the glory and the love and the grace and the mercy of God, and then gave himself up to take the punishment and the penalty of your sin and my sin, so he who knew no sin became sin, so that I might become the righteousness of God in Christ Jesus. And one of his last things that he used while suffocating in his own blood while he hung on the cross for 6 hours, Jesus literally said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." No one forgave like Jesus. No one loved like Jesus. No one lived like Jesus. And yet he died a criminal's death so that you and I could live a free life and could now have relationship with God forever and ever. So I actually believe that Jesus is God. I believe that he is real. And I believe that he did all of that, not just so people could sit in air-conditioned buildings and listen to good sermons on Sundays or Wednesdays. I love talking and I love speaking, just like my little girl. We love a captive audience. But my job is not actually just to inspire or to talk to you or towards you, but it's to relate with you so that you and I can function like a family. And that Mondays and Tuesdays and ordinary Friday mornings, we can be a part of the solution in the streets of Los Angeles as we live, love, and look like Jesus. My passion is not just that we would fill a theater on a Wednesday night, which is great and this is fun, but there is so much more to following Jesus and being a community. Jesus gave his life and resurrected on the third day so that you and I could live a lifestyle that we otherwise could have never lived. So here comes Jesus. He's not far from this moment. Jesus will offer up himself to, in fact, die, as I said a moment ago. Before that, he will demonstrate for us how to befriend and love and gather people. Notice what he's doing. He seems to be targeting people who other people overlook. He seems to be accepting, loving, laughing, living, and sharing meals with people that make pastors uncomfortable. We talked about this before. You know, Jesus is so amazing, and he's so famous, you know, and everyone's got their premise and their idea of Jesus, and believe that Jesus is just like this incredible person who just always made everything awesome and comfortable and fun and relaxing and peaceful and awesome and great. But he wasn't actually totally that guy. He was also a socially frustrating figure. Jesus came on the scene claiming to be God, which is socially frustrating. And then began to formulate a community around him of hodgepodge, ragtag, rough and tumble thugs. And it made people feel uncomfortable. So finally, the pastors are exhausted, they're exasperated, they've had enough. All of the people that hang with Jesus and listen to Jesus, it seems as if none of them want anything to do with institutionalized teaching, preaching, gathering, leading, loving, and they are sick of it. And so they come grumbling, mumbling, and complaining and criticizing Jesus, and he hears about it. They say, seriously, you are intentional about befriending and loving bad people, simply put. And they would go on to essentially what they mean here is, and we've seen none of these people in our synagogues. None of these people attend our proper Sunday morning worship experiences. So, what do you have to say for yourself? So Jesus, like only Jesus does, tells a parable. Now there's something interesting about this. There are 3 stories here, but the Bible says this is one parable. It's one parable. It's one parable. And that's important for you to understand. It's one parable. Now here's how the one parable has 3 elements or 3 parts. The first part is you have a man with 100 sheep. The second part, you have a woman with a 10-coin collection. And the last part of one parable is a dad with 2 sons. Now remember, why is Jesus telling us the story? Because he wants you to gain understanding on why he has formed and gathered and befriended the ragtag crew he has. Here's his explanation. He says, there was a man who had 100 sheep, and the one sheep took off. And this had to be a crazy scene, right? These guys are like, "We're talking about sheep now?" I'm sorry, what? And he goes, what man of you wouldn't do this? And by the way, it's illogical, it doesn't make any sense. The point is, no man they've ever met, or pastor, or leader, ever thinks like this. This is Jesus just stirring it up. He's like, if you had 100 sheep and 1 left, wouldn't you leave the 99 to go searching for the 1? The answer is no. He said, so like a shepherd, like a guy, got a collection of sheep, 100, and he counts them, and he realizes, oh, there's 1 gone. So he leaves the majority, he leaves the 99, and he goes after the 1, and then he finds the 1, puts it on his shoulders, he rejoices, calls friends, they get back to the house, and they throw a party. And now, let me tell you another story. It's like, okay, cool. Did you hear our question? But remember, there's one common theme. It's one parable, 3 parts. Every part ends in a home. Every part ends in a home with a party. Jesus, why are these your friends? Why is this your crew? Why are you hanging out in that part of town? I walked past that part of town, and I saw through the big picture window that you were at so-and-so's house. Jesus, in Matthew 9, which we'll look at in a moment, he actually went to Matthew, the tax collector's house. I don't know any other way to explain this to you, but that would be the equivalent of literally going to somebody's house who owns, a lot of drugs, and sells them, and makes a lot of money. And everyone knows it. And then they have naked people around their pool all the time. Too descriptive. Jesus went to that guy's house. And so naturally the pastors are like, really? What's the deal? He's like, I'm just like the guy with 100 sheep who lost one. So he left all of them alone just to find one. And then he found it. And then he put it on his shoulders and he came home and he called his friends together and they threw a party. Oh, cool. Yeah, like the woman. I mean, what woman you don't know who has a 10-coin collection and loses one and just turns your house upside down, and the word sweep there in the Greek means that she's turning all the furniture over, and she's got 9 coins, but she's got to find that one. I mean, if she used the same energy to go work, she could have earned another coin. It's only a day's wages, these 10 coins. But she takes an entire day, she searches, and she finds the 1 coin. And then I love this part, then she calls her friends together and they throw a party, which probably costs a lot more than 1 coin. And Jesus is like, you know what I mean? And they're like, no. And then he gets to the last story, he's like, it's like a dad. He has 2 sons. And he has this AWOL son. He's a jerk. He's an idiot. He's selfish. He takes all the money, all the inheritance, leaves his dad out high and dry, leaves his older brother. He takes off, moves to Vegas, then he goes to Amsterdam. So naming all these cities, God loves those too, Pastor. It's true. And he lives this wild life, and he's like, come on, you know what I mean? And the son comes back, and Jesus gets real into the last story. He's like, but the son is like, he writes this speech, and he's like, I'm gonna just be an employee for dad. And probably about that point, the pastors are like, this last story kind of starting to make some sense. This younger boy understands what it is, okay? You don't just walk back and have it, like, you better earn it. So Jesus is kind of like toying with the pastors, I think. He's like, right before this speech, I think the pastors and the priests and the Pharisees listen, like, that's a good speech right there. Because the son was like, I'm no longer worthy to be your son, make me an employee. I don't even bear your name anymore. I'm a disgrace to your family. And I think the Pharisees are like, exactly. Now that's what I'm talking about. And then Jesus ruins everything. Because as the story goes on, the dad evidently has been watching the horizon for his son. And the moment his son begins to crest the horizon, the dad runs to him and starts kissing his face off. And then he gives him gifts for all the great things he's done for the family. And then he kills the fatted calf, which would be the little calf that the family has been feeding special food for that special time because it's going to taste so good. They're going to kill the fatted calf, they're going to bring in a DJ, they're going to call their friends, and they're going to start dancing and celebrating what exactly? Oh, that the kid wasted all the money that dad had. It's back. And the scene closes. Hey, Jesus, can you apply some of those stories for us? Why are these the people you've befriended? Well, first off, we know what Jesus is saying. He's saying, I'm the guy with 100 sheep. I'm like the woman with the 10-coin collection. I'm the crazy dad. That's me. He's telling these pastors, I'm not like you. I have illogical love. I'll leave 99 to go for one. I'll turn a house upside down looking for one. I'll wait every day looking on the horizon for the one who's wasted everything. So guys, they may not get this, but he's saying, I'm doing what I do because I am who I am. This is who I am. Now, you cannot leave Luke 15 without considering for a moment that maybe, possibly, if this is the explanation Jesus gives about why he formed the community he formed, and please understand, it's literally a community that has developed around Jesus. He now has a crew and he rolls deep. And they love him and they turn up when Jesus shows up. I mean, they are there. It says they just start to gather just to listen to him talk. And the pastors are uncomfortable with who enjoys company with Jesus. And his explanation is equally as radical. I want to draw your attention. We're going to spend 5 weeks kind of in this space. But I want to draw your attention to a progression that is consistent in all 3 parts of this one parable. And the progression is exactly the same. Though the amount, 100 sheep, 10 coins, 2 sons, it varies. The progression remains the same. Notice the progression. There is something lost. There is a search effort that is extensive. There is a finding. Something is found. Someone is found. And then there is a party. Every single part. There's lost, search, found, party. Lost, search, found, party. Lost, really lost, stupid lost. Lost, got himself lost. Search, found, party. And every party, stupid party. Just stupid party. That don't make sense. Financially irresponsible parties. Like, I mean, you got to question whoever's doing the books for Jesus. Like, this is not okay. You need to, like, come on, just think this through a little bit. Irrational, illogical, economically irresponsible parties. It seems to me that this passage would have enormous relevance and implications to you and me when it comes to relationships, community, and living life in Los Angeles. Like, do you read stories like this and ask yourself an honest truth? Who am I most like in this story? I don't mean the shepherd, the woman, and the dad. I mean the pastors, the priests, the Pharisees, or Jesus. Because here's the truth. What the Pharisees are doing, it just fits in a great schedule. It's nice. It's neat. You don't get smelly or dirty. People don't see you places and make you kind of wonder, like, what is he doing? They don't see you at some weird person's house and wonder, I'll pray for you. Look how messy Jesus' relationships are. Look how colorful and, can I say, illogical and mystical and mysterious Jesus' answer is to why these are his friends. He's like, I'm crazy. These are my friends because I'm crazy in love. I love like this man with a sheep. I love like this woman with these coins. I love like this dad with these sons. That's me. And you can probably bet that these Pharisees and Sadducees and religious leaders and scribes were like, I don't get it. I don't think they did they? But I believe that the vision that has the church of Jesus, the vision that possesses the church, I don't think the church gets to choose the vision. I think the vision owns the church. It remains the same. It remains the same. To love people like Jesus loved you. To pursue friendships and relationships like Jesus pursued friendships and relationships. Not to play it safe. Not just to love people that look like you, or act like you, or talk like you, or value what you value. That the rest of your life will not be a life filled with people you simply, effortlessly enjoy. That the rest of your days will not be spent in the confines of people who get you and get how you see stuff and never contradict you or question you or... That wasn't the life Jesus lived, is it? This community wasn't started, and I hope this is okay for me to be so bold, but we didn't get started just so that we could gather everybody who thinks the same and acts the same and looks the same, dress the same, walk the same, talk the same. We're here in a cosmopolitan center, a culture center of the world, and we're here to be a community that looks like the community that began to be formed around my hero and my Savior and my King, who is Jesus. Amen. Right? And the progression he shares ought to be characteristics of the kind of community that we are and we are becoming. Lost, searching, found, party. Lost, search, found, party. Are we a community that has a party? Are we a community that understands foundness? Are we a community that's searching? Are we a community aware of lostness and brokenness? Are we that kind of community? Jesus he's painting a stupid picture here. He is suggesting that we ought to love to the extent that he loves. Illogically. It's not going to benefit your career necessarily. If you are after money, don't leave 99 sheep after one. That does not make sense economically. That doesn't make sense rationally. But Jesus is telling us something about himself. He loves ridiculously. He loves relentlessly. He loves unconditionally. This is love like we've never heard of before. And that's why the pastors were befuddled. What are we? What? And so much has been made of these stories that are within one parable. But each one ends in a home, which leads me to believe that Jesus understands that he made us with an inherent need to have a home. We all need a home. We need a home. And I don't mean a condo. And I don't mean an apartment. And I don't mean an estate. And I don't mean, you need a home. You need a place to be you. You need people who love you for who you really are. You need a home. The church is supposed to be a home. The church is supposed to be a home that understands lostness, that understands searching, that understands what it means to be found, and understands how to party. It's got to be a home. I see a church like a home that is aware and sees People that are displaced, misunderstood, ignored, and isolated. Think about it for a second. Most shepherds, if you got 100 sheep, are you going to notice that you got 99? What kind of detailed type A, stressed out dude is this guy? How many times does he count his sheep? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, come on, the sheep are moving and stuff and bobbing and weaving. I mean, how do you know you only got 9? You just miscounted. No, he knows, doesn't he? Man, I dream about a church that's like a home where every single person counts. Where when you're not around, we know this. Even if there's a large number like 100, we still notice when one's gone. What's crazy about a home, man, is nobody is optional. Does that make sense? Like I don't look at my 3 kids. Will you bear with me for a second? I don't look at my 3 kids and go, well, I hope 2/3 have a good life. Can you imagine if I came up here tonight and be like, man, I love my family, honestly. I'm hoping at least 2 out of 3 do something. You know what I mean? You'd be like, is he for real? Because if he is for real, grab your purse, we out, okay? It's ridiculous. Because it's not the luxury of a father or a family to start playing statistics, percentages. We're a family. A dream of a community that is actually not concerned with the total number. We're just concerned with the individuals. So the numbers only matter because they represent individuals of infinite value before God.
Amen.
This is the kind of community I dream about. Church is like a home. I dream about a church that's like a home that would do anything and go to any lengths to show people love. These searches are so stupid in this story. Think about it. We've gone over it. The search of the shepherd. What are you doing, shepherd, sir? You have 99 exposed sheep now for 1. You don't even think clearly, do you? I could tell there was one missing. I had to act. Man, would you just calm down? We'll take up an offer. We'll give you a coin. You tearing up your furniture and your whole house. It's worth a lot more than a coin. Would you just calm down? I'm sorry, Father, you out here every day looking for an AWOL son who couldn't care less about you. You're out here every day looking for him. I mean, was there somebody who wanted to confront that dad and say, this is pathetic, sir? I don't know why you're looking for your son. First of all, he's not coming back anytime soon. Second of all, when he does, I hope you rip him a new one. The searching it's extensive. I don't know, I dream of a community that's like a home. We love people so deeply. We'll spend money. We'll do crazy, stupid stuff to show people. And we love them. Do whatever it takes. People are like, that doesn't add up. We don't care. We love people. Do whatever it takes. It doesn't matter. A dream of a community that loves like that. That loves so much that people that don't get it go, you guys are stupid. You're stupid and crazy in love. We are. Dream of a community that is willing to pool millions of dollars and billions of dollars to serve people, not simply build buildings and programs, but to serve people. $39 million, I believe the number is. My mom and dad started this church 25 or 26 years ago. 26, 25, 26. Who cares? Mom knows. Who cares? They've given away $39 million in 26 years. Not to buildings, but to people. Why can't we give $39 billion away? Change people's lives and serve people and make them feel, rather than displaced and misplaced, belonging and loved. Dream of a place that people feel found. You just feel found. And I dream of a church that's like a home where people feel so much like they belong and so much like they're loved that they extend the same courtesy to others who walk right in the door.
Amen.
You know what's amazing about found people who know they're found? They will search for people who are lost. But if a found person forgets they're found, they will stop searching to find others. And then lastly, I dream of a church like a home where we celebrate each other ridiculously, where we affirm each other, where we're like, dude, let's just have a party tonight. Why? Because it's like your 2/3 birthday. Because you wrote a paper at school. Dude, it's one paper, I know, but it's awesome. You're amazing. Your hair looks great. Wow, you lost pounds? You gained weight? I couldn't tell. Just a community that affirms each other. Is generous with their words. Generous with care and concern. Can I say something as I close and I'm done? And Philip and the team, we're gonna sing together, but y'all just bear with me if you're new to church and new to this experience. Can I talk to those that maybe are not as new? I think we got to change something in the church. And I'll say it like this, and I'll use this portrait that Jesus gives us. I think the church is really good at throwing a party, and that may surprise you. That may surprise you. You're like, no, I ain't never been to a church that knows how to party. Okay, well, no one had a party, it's all relative. But you know what the party of the home is, right? It's Wednesday night. It's Sunday morning. But I'm afraid if we are not careful, we may hand off a community to a next generation that forgot to recognize that people are lost, organize search parties, and celebrate foundness. And if we're not careful, we're going to turn this into a Wednesday night or Sunday morning entertainment experience. We might as well start selling tickets, man. Might as well do season tickets. Man, let's go hear that guy. Let's go hear that band. Ooh, I like it. They got a new album. Let's go check that out. It's cool. I like it. Wait a second. When I look at Jesus and his crew, and I look at the dinners that he shared, and the lunches that he shared, and the parties he went to, and the lives that were transformed, and I look at the metaphor and the parable he tells us, there's only one part that's a production. The rest is a mission to love people and to serve people. One of the essential, in fact, one writer says the essential characteristic of following Jesus is one thing. It's compassion. Compassion is very simple. It means to feel the feelings of someone else. I'm here to go on record to say that if us gathering, if us partying on Wednesday night, and that's all it is, and it is justifiable, it is real. We're here to party and celebrate God and each other, and it's important. But oh God, if the progression does not continue, and we do not experience the love of God, and compassion does not fill our hearts, where we feel the feelings of someone else, do you know who we are in the story? We're the professional pastors who were frustrated because all of Jesus' followers didn't attend their services. That's who we are. And I did not decide to follow Jesus so that I could facilitate awesome Wednesday night productions and Sunday morning gigs. That's not me. That's not you. That's not us. That's not Jesus. Our lives are supposed to look a lot more like the guy with 100 sheep, the woman with 10 coins, and the dad with 2 sons. We're actually supposed to be those people. We're actually supposed to be those crazy people. And that's what I dream of. I dream of us feeling the feelings of one another. I know people come up to me and say, so you have a real heart for racial reconciliation. I don't know what that means anymore. I have a heart, so you have a heart for the black and white issue. I'm sorry, I'm not a politician. These are not talking points. I'm not actually asking for your vote. I am a community coordinator, and I am passionate about loving, living, and looking like Jesus. And I believe that this is a home and we're a family. If we're family, I am beginning to feel the feelings of someone else. And I'm beginning to wonder for those a part of this community that are African American, I wonder what it feels like to feel like you. What does it feel like? I don't know what that feels like, but I want to know what it feels like because we're part of a home. And we're family. And I love you. Like, I crazy love you. I might, spend money to show you that I love you. I might, illogically love you. I might change my schedule because I love you. This Jesus relationship, community, friendship is so real. It's not an issue. It's not racial reconciliation for me. It's my family. These are my friends. This is real to me. That's what the community is supposed to be. What we're building here is not a production. What we're building here is each other. And that's going to be painful, and that's going to be challenging, and it's going to be awkward, and there are going to be those of us that come and go, and we're going to have moments, but wait a minute, we got a chance here to build something together that really is a part of the solution, that is different than just a church program. It's different than just a production and an event, an organization, or a business, or an institution. It actually is relationship, family, friends, and we are moved with compassion to serve one another. That's what I dream of, man. That's what I dream of. You know what you will learn the most about God, and you will learn the most about yourself, and you will grow the most when you join a search party to find other people who are displaced and hurting and broken and lost. That is how. That is how. Well, Pastor, when are you going to train us? And when are you going to equip us? And when are you going to, you know what? Let's just go walk the streets and start serving, loving, caring, and living. I'm telling you, you will grow. You will learn what it's like to look like Jesus. You will start serving one another. I am so passionate about this because I know we can do this. I know. And I hope that it's just one of those nights where you're like, God, I hope that people aren't like, oh, this is not my favorite talk. I'm not a professional talker. That's not what I do. I'm a follower of Jesus that's passionately committed to joining others in the same pursuit so that we can make a difference in our world, man. Yeah. That's my passion. We are family. We're in this together. I don't want to be a pro. I don't want to be a professional. I just want to love Jesus, and I want to love you, and I want to love this city. And I want it to be real. And if it can't be real, I'd rather go home and watch SportsCenter. I'd rather just go home and eat popcorn. I like popcorn. You know what I mean? Or are we here because we love each other? Well, Judy, you don't even know me. I hope to know you. And even if I never know you, I hope somebody knows you. And I hope they love you. And I hope you know someone. I hope you love them. And I hope that what we build here is authentic. I want to look like Jesus. And you know what? I was texting with my cousin Chris. He's preached here before. I said, man, I'm embarrassed. Because I don't feel like I look like the right person in this story. And if we don't get honest and intentional, I don't want to be the pastor who doesn't understand Jesus when he turns up. Wait. And if we just keep doing things like we've always done stuff, I dare you to love somebody who doesn't look like you. I dare you to start a conversation. Do you realize the opportunity we have? People think this is a race issue or this is talking points for some politicians garnering for our votes. Please, this is gospel living. This is whether or not we live, love, and look like Jesus. We have an opportunity to walk across this auditorium and approach someone that doesn't look like us and say, I need to understand. Why? Because we're in the same room together. We're supposed to be family. Yeah. So I'm sorry. Will you forgive me? I love you. This isn't an issue to me. This is not a topic to me. This is not an idea to me. This is not a YouTube video that was released to me. This is called living and loving like Jesus. I don't know everybody in Tulsa or Charlotte, but I happen to be in the same room with you tonight in LA. So I got an opportunity, and some could say I have a responsibility to be begin to love you. That's what I want. And I start thinking about 25 years from now, before Chelsea and I move to Palm Springs and drink wine every night. Y'all can come visit us. And I dream 25 years. 25 years. What could we do together? Just loving each other. Just understanding each other. Crying together. Laughing together. Weeping together. Rejoicing together. Living. I mean, imagine 25 years of lost, searching, found, party. Lost, searching, found, party. 25 years. We just keep living like, man. I just think we can make a difference. And not just because we got cool services with hazers and lights. Because we love each other. Would you close your eyes just for a moment? Thank you for listening tonight. Thank you for letting me